Up next on Pop Fusion the Talk Show, track and field star Steven Benedict talks about the importance of giving back.
So, what are some of the misconceptions surrounding foster care systems?
Yeah, so there's the system is very scattered and very broken right now. And when you go from state to state, it's all different parameters and protocols and time lengths of the kids from foster care transitioning to adoption, what that timeline looks like. The age parameters are all over the place. A lot of it. I think the biggest issue right now is the aging out aspect. Is that once these kids turn 18, the government pretty much washes their hands of them. There's a very ugly side to it too, that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and that's some of the things that we're going to be tackling next year as my organization launches.
We're here with track and field star Steven Benedict, and I want to congratulate you on the recent release of your book, Good Morning Superstar. And it is Where Intentions Set the Tone, but Habits Align You to Shine. So tell us a bit about that book.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. One, it's my first book, so it was definitely a work in progress for me, and kind of learn the ins and outs, and really know the back end of things. Going through publishers and not going through publishers, that whole rigmarole. But the book itself has been a build for me for a little bit, but I really wanted to take, especially in this time and current climate that we're in, I really wanted to take a simplistic approach to something that people can implement within their lives, that is not taking away from their time, but it's adding to their daily lives. So the book overall, the layout is a 90-day book. You do one chapter a day. There's a quote followed by a parable that was written by me, in which that quote has impacted me on a specific day and time. And then there's two questions that follow up that parable, an empowering question, and then also a take action question. And those are in there because I'm a big believer that when we ask ourselves better questions, we get better results. So it's all about planting those seeds, setting the tone for your day, putting your mindset in the right working capacity to take on whatever challenges that are thrown at us. And there are a lot of challenges thrown at us right now. So,
especially in this time, we cannot deny that. I love that, posing the question, it really makes you dive deeper into not just your thoughts, but also seeing them written out and then really just working through them. So you're not just wondering about it, but you're also applying practical tactics in there. Okay, well, that's really great. I want to know, and for the audience as well, a little bit more about your background and why you decided to write this book.
Yeah, so, the book and all the proceeds are going to impact foster families and aging out youth for a more sustainable holiday. And that reason is the main cause, and my why behind that is because that's a big piece of my backstory. I was raised in and out of foster homes at a very young age for like 6 years with my younger brother. Even before that, we were living in and out of motel rooms, very unstable situation, not protected, provided for at the time, and highly abused. So it's been a roller coaster of a ride, and now that's been my space to really speak into and bring light to, and really bring some reformation and some tangible changes to. It's definitely been a roller coaster of a ride. Not only was that experience, those first 6 years, a very accelerated experience from my own childhood, where I had to really step into the role of being a father figure for my younger brother, and also, protection and provision, and just the essentials in which I think we really overlook a lot nowadays, like things like having a roof over our head and having a hot meal and having a warm bed to sleep in at night, like the little things. And those were priorities for us, and they still are very much of a priority for me right now. Um, fast forwarding, things after we were adopted at the age of 8 and 6 by two incredible individuals. My mother was a second grade teacher, and my father was ex-Vietnam and went on to work for Merrill Lynch. So they exposed us to a whole gamut of things and opened up the doors for a second chance at life, from sports to music to art to education. Uh, Gave us a really well-rounded view of what life what is for us compared to where we are coming from. And unfortunately, our time with them was short-lived. We lost my mother to bone marrow cancer after she battled it for about a year. It's very aggressive cancer. If you know anything about cancers, the most aggressive ones that you can contract are bone marrow, pancreatic, and brain cancer. But she stayed within her character, and she's a very strong and bold woman. And some of the last things she said to us, that everything was going to be okay. And then not too long after that, about 3.5 years after that, my father was visiting his brother down in a retirement home in Florida, and they drive golf carts down there, and they took a wrong turn coming home, and he got thrown from a golf cart and hit his head in all the really receptacle areas in his head and put him into an irreversible coma. And after about a week of speaking to every doctor under the sun and taking diagnoses and everything, that even if he did come out of the coma, he wasn't going to be the same person we knew him as, that happy, joy-go-lucky person and that very lighthearted person. And so me being the oldest, I had to make the executive decision to take him off life support. So, it's been a lot of trials and tribulation and loss, and a lot of getting hit with a lot of different areas in which emotions play a very big part in who we are as humans, and trying to work through those aspects to the best of my capability. And now that's it's become a very big voice of who I am, not only as an athlete, but what I do off the track, and impacting this space in the foster care and also the adoption aspect, and these kids that are coming up through this system, and really trying to find out who they are and what they stand for and find out their identity. So
I want to dive into that a little bit further, and I really appreciate you for sharing your story. And you've really been through a lot of challenges and have come out of those so well. I have to really commend you on that. So, it's great to see how far you've come. And so proceeds of you, as you've said, of the sale of this book go towards foster care and adoption charities. Why is it important to give to those kind of foster care and adoption centers?
Well, I without a doubt, I mean, first and foremost, within this climate that we're currently in, everything is unstable. So every little thing helps, especially within this space where they're probably getting hit the most. Funds are lacking. This time of year is the holidays. A lot of these kids don't know what the word family is, never mind what the word Christmas is. I know that I didn't know what Christmas was. My first Christmas, I can really remember my first Christmas at the age of 8. So it means there was a whole 8 years before that that really wasn't a part of, my looking forward to and things like that. So, and if I can help out, make a dent in their finances for the holidays, then so be it. And it's done very well, and I've been able and blessed enough to help out a lot of families this month, and still working on that a lot. And I'm involved in an event this weekend. We're going to be helping out about 700 different families. So now dropping off toys and clothes and some wellness and nutrition stuff. So I'm just utilizing as many resources as I have on my table right now at this particular time to just really breathe some life into this space, and let them know that, that they're not alone in this fight, and that that, and I'm not just somebody that is coming in with a charity heart or anything like that. I'm a direct product of the system. So I think that that just stands even more out and is just giving me more of a platform in order to be a catalyst in it.
That's really great. And especially in this time where you want to be close with people or feel that love and warmth. So, what are some of the misconceptions surrounding foster care systems?
Yeah, so there's the system is very scattered and very broken right now. And when you go from state to state, it's all different parameters and protocols, and time lengths of whether the foster care from the foster care the kids from foster care transition into adoption, what that timeline looks like. The age parameters are all over the place. A lot of it. I think the biggest issue right now is the aging out aspect. Is that once these kids turn 18, the government pretty much washes their hands of them, and they're left out with no resources, no life skills, no um, direction in order to step out into a very vast and very volatile world right now. And that's a terrible thing to not only for us as humans to really kind of look at we're putting our children out on the streets deliberately, because just to give you a number wise and a broader picture of it, is that 40% of aging out youth within the first 3 months are either incarcerated, they're homeless, they're either sexually trafficked, or they're dead. That's 40%. And these are our kids, and these are supposed to be our next generation in order to lead and to have some to have some pull and to shape what the future looks like. And it's not looking bright. And to really be honest with you, it's we're not doing our job. We're not doing our jobs as leaders, within the men's space, and just overall humans, and we need to really step up our game, and to really take accountability for some of our own actions right now, because they're starting to backlash and starting to spill over onto our kids. So yeah, there's a lot of messiness in it behind it. It's not always seeing these pictures of happy families with adoption and being, hey, I was in foster care for so amount and now I'm in an adopted family. There's a very ugly side to it too, that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And that's some of the things that we're going to be
Okay,
tackling
so
next
that's
year as
what we want
my
to end on
organization
as well.
launches.
And my God, I'm just like taking all this information in, and definitely, if anything, we've learned in this year that there's so much that still really, really needs to be done for us in general.
Hmm.
So for this upcoming year, what is an exciting project? And now that you've published your first book, what are you really looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, the book's doing well, and I'm probably gonna have another book come out, a children's book come out, but even more so that my organization is going to be launching the end of January, probably maybe mid-February. I've been working very hard on it, of what the core values of it are and what it's going to stand for and how it's going to change the space in which what nonprofits look like, what they stand for, and really what they do and how they go about making tangible changes. That organization is called Fostering Success. And it's there. We're just doing a lot of innovative things, and bringing a little sense of stability and sustainability for this space and families, and what their futures might look like, and to know that you know um, we're going to set the bar. We're going to set the bar of what how things are supposed to be and what change actually looks like, and not just be another organization out there that is collecting donations and doing the typical things that isn't really moving the needle in area.
Mhm. Well, I'd like to know then, how can people be involved and also support your cause and organization? It's fostering change.
Yeah, it's so the organization is called Fostering Success. You can the
Fostering success.
website is being revamped, but it is up right now. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that are being implemented there, whether it be social emotional learning programs, leadership programs for the kids, for the families, think tanks that we're having some of the sharpest minds come together to really step into some reformation aspects. And then, the book is on there too. We're going to have another book that's going to be launched. We'll have a gala later in the year to really benefit. So there's a lot of events, but ultimately, the biggest thing that I'm really looking forward to, and that's probably a couple of years down the road, maybe sooner, but looking to build a sustainable living home for several different foster families to really breathe and live off each other and to know what that family and community feels like.
No, that's so wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Steven Benedict, for talking to us here on Pop Fusion TV and doing so much good for the community and people out there who really need that support.